Hello guys, welcome to We Karnataka KCT and Boards channel. I am Miss Gopika, your own biology master teacher. So today I have come here to do some really special, but you might be thinking that these questions are difficult, but they are actually not difficult. Today I am going to do high order thinking questions plus your 5-mark questions, which all of you might be finding it very difficult to crack in your midterm exams. So today we are going to decode the most important questions and from important chapters like your sexual reproduction, flowering plants, molecular bases, microbes, your evolution chapter. So we are going to decode these. So I hope all of you are ready, and quickly subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and hit that like button, and also let me know in the comments if the class was really helpful, because most of you are not doing that, okay? And I'm really upset about that because you people are not telling us the feedbacks. Ma'am, are you really enjoying it, or are you finding it difficult, or is it whatever it is, you have to let us know so that we can improve our classes and you can get a best experience through this. Okay, let's start. Okay, no more stories, we are going to start. So students, before that, this is a blueprint of how your questions are going to come. 2024 and 25 is already, blueprint is already out. This is of 2023, and here you can see from where the hot questions are going to come. Okay, really burning hot questions are going to come from these chapters. So I have picked questions from these chapters, especially from your hot, the high oriented thinking questions only I have picked up. So this will help you understand what type of questions will come. Let me tell you, it is not that difficult. It will be little application level, little out of the textbook. You'll have to think, like, think out of the box. Okay, so this is your blueprint, and all this PDF you will be getting it on We Karnataka KCET and Boards Telegram. Okay, quickly join the Telegram, and if you want to join my Telegram, you're always welcome. Biology by Gopika. Okay, let's start. So the first question, let's see which is the first question. Parthenocarpy and apomixis have been observed in some plants. Give an example of each. State a similarity and differences observed between two processes. Apomixis is a type of asexual reproduction justified. So here if you see, there are many parts to this question. So when you're answering it, most of the time what happens is you ignore the parts, right? One part you write and the next part you forget. So for that, you should make sure that you are very aware of what you are looking. See, first question is, Parthenocarpy and apomixis have been observed in some plants. Now, what are these? We all know that Parthenocarpy is when, Parthenocarpy is when you're forming fruits without fertilization, and apomixis is when you're forming seeds without fertilization. If you know this difference, let me tell you, the whole question is decoded easily. This is the first loophole of the question. Second thing is going to be, give an example of each. So we should give examples of each of this. Many examples are given in your textbook. You can pick any of one example and give the example. Next is, state a similarity. This is most important, okay? State a similarity and differences observed. So they want you to tell what is the similarity between Parthenocarpy and what is the difference between them. See, difference is already there in the definition, that Parthenocarpy is a process or a phenomena where you form fruits without fertilization. Okay, plants form fruits without fertilization. Second thing is, the difference is going to be, apomixis is a condition where you form seeds without fertilization. So difference is sorted. Now ma'am, what could be the similarity? Student, the biggest similarity is that both of them are happening without the actual fertilization. Now how do normally we form anything? It is basically where the male gamete, right, the male gamete plus the female gamete. Normally how does fertilization happen? Male and female gamete should come together and they will end up forming a zygote. Okay. Now that end product where you have ovule forming seeds and ovary forming fruits. Now in both of the cases, without fertilization word I have used. So that is one of the similarities. So question got decoded, no? Now the next third part of the question is, apomixis is a type of asexual reproduction. See, why do I call something sexual reproduction? Because there is a male and a female involved. If they are going to form clones, or if they are going to form exactly the parent. See, if they are going to form exact parent, students, from the parent, okay, you are taking a Xerox and you are forming the daughter. So this is where your asexual reproduction comes in place. Yes or no? That means we are basically forming exact copies, clones we are forming. But sexual reproduction, it's not like that. You get some characteristics from your father, some characteristics from your mother. You're a mix of two different things. Maybe you like it or not, but you're going to get mix of both of it. That means what? Variation is going to happen, right? You're not just like your mother and just like your father. You're not exactly like them, but you're a mix but in a better version, in a bad version, whatever as you say, but you understood, no, variation is happening. So the three parts of the question is decoded. Now let's see what is the topper's answer. So I have picked up the topper's answer, which is given in your handbook, previous year question paper, and I have given it. So this way you will know what you are supposed to write, what you are not supposed to write. Okay, done. Chalo, let's go. So here you see, students, this is the topper's answer. So I'm going to highlight the word that is important. Parthenocarpy is exhibited in banana plant. Okay, so first example is done. Ma'am, banana plant is the example. Okay, let me take a darker color. Okay, whereas apomixis is exhibited by some plants which are belonging to the family Asteraceae and grasses. So if you're finding it difficult to remember Asteraceae, go for grasses as an example. Okay. Now, differences. So, as I told you, the difference is going to be one is forming fruit, one is forming seed. So, difference is going to be parthenocarpy is the formation or development of fruit without fertilization. So, here the biggest, the point is this one, the fruit formation. Okay, this is the asterisk mark I am putting here. That means it's very, very important. Now, apomixis on the other hand is the formation of seeds without fertilization. So, in both of them, one word is common, without fertilization. So, can that be? Yes. So, similarities in both the processes, the fertilization of the female gamete by the male gamete does not take place. That means, here what is happening, students? Fertilization is not taking place, right? In simple words, I can write here, actual fertilization is not happening. Okay, fertilization is not taking place. Okay, done. Now, justification. Third part of the question was apomixis is an asexual reproduction. Justify your statement. So, let's justify what we want to tell. Justification is that apomixis involves the production of seeds without the gametes. That means without male and female gamete. It avoids the process of meiosis and fertilization. So, here something that you need to remember is what is going to happen, students. See, normally what is going to happen? The MMC is going to be there, the megaspore mother cell is going to be there, it is going to divide, okay, meiosis is going to happen, reduction division is going to happen, meiosis is going to happen and it is going to form your haploid, okay, gametes are going to be formed. Now, that means your functional megaspore, then later mitosis will happen, they will form the embryo sac, it will going to continue. Now, this is what normally it happens. Now, in apomixis, what is going to happen? In apomixis, let's say your megaspore mother cell will leave, your egg is going to form just like that. Okay, just like that it is going to happen. That is mitosis will happen, reduction division is not going to happen. That means from here directly to this mitosis is going to happen. Okay, reduction division is gone. Reduction division is not going to happen, mitosis is going to happen. Since mitosis is going to happen, again this will be formed. Now, the second situation is where, students, your nucellus, all of you remember, no, around the integuments I had drawn nucellus. That nucellus will move towards, okay, the embryo, it will move towards the embryo inside and it is going to form your nucellar. Oh, all the letters are going missing. Okay, it is going to form your nucellar embryo. Okay, nucellar embryo. Okay, all the letters are dancing, that's it. Understood? These are the two statements given in your NCERT. So, these statements have to be clear to you. Don't be like, ma'am, from where did you find the statement and come? This statement is very important. Okay, understood? First question done and dusted. It will take more time to do these questions, students, because they are long questions. Okay, we cannot just run like that. Okay, next part of the question, second question. So, first question, I hope it is clear. Put thumbs up in the chat and also let me know if you understood so far. Next question is going to be, these are the two questions, okay, which might come for your midterm exam. Post-fertilization events lead to the formation of endosperm, embryo, seeds and fruits. With reference to this, give reason for the following. Okay, first question. Most of the zygotes in angiosperm divide only after a certain amount of endosperm. So, before I go into the question, please understand endosperm is a food reserve material. It is going to give all the, all the content, all the food to the growing zygote. So, if I want to be alive, I will definitely check if there is food. Or if I am going to a place where I am going to have lunch, I will first check if the place has good lunch. Yes or no? Simple, no? Same way, before see, what are they telling? Most of the zygotes will divide only after the endosperm is formed because they need food. Without food, what is the problem? Growing up, you are not going to do like, You're not going to go there and start cooking. No, first food has to be there so that the zygote can grow happily. So they will do that way. That's the answer. Now, next question is, micropyle remains as a small pore in the seed coat of the seed. Integuments of an ovule harden and the water content is highly reduced as the seed matures. Third, deep question. Groundnut seeds are X-albuminous and castor seeds are albuminous. Apple and cashew are not called true fruits. Now, these are the questions. Now, let's decode the answers, students. One by one, we are going to decode and understand the answers. Okay? Ready? Yes, all of you. Okay? Josh is fully high. Okay, ellaru full josh alirbeku throughout the class. I don't want 5 minutes you're in josh, then you forget. Students, board exams are very important. Let me tell you, if whatever you score in your PU, many people might tell that okay, it's not going to be used in job, your PU marks are not going to be used, it's just a piece of paper. No, your PU boards will matter because you will land up in a really good college if your PU scores are good. And if you do not have good scores, you'll have to land up in a very mediocre college, and you have to survive with people that are not your type. Your friends that you're going to make will not be your type. You cannot hang out like how you thought your future is going to be. So please, hard work for your boards. It is very, very important. Okay, yes. Now let's see. First question is, why zygote? Okay, that formation is going to happen. See, because the zygote requires reserve food materials. Okay, that means endosperm is going to supply the food materials, right? So students, endosperm is the food supplier. Okay, endosperm has to be formed so that the food supply can happen. Okay, food supply can happen. Clear or not? Now, of the endosperm for nourishing the developing embryo. The micropyle remains. The second part of the question. Why does the micropyle remain? The micropyle remains as a pore that facilitates entry of water and oxygen into the seed. Very, very important. So, it is going to allow. Now, all of you look here. Can you see here? There's a small, small hole kind of thing shown here. This is your micropyle. Now, what is this micropyle going to do? This micropyle is going to make sure that oxygen, okay, water, everything is entered into the seed and the seed can grow, the seed can germinate. Okay, for that this is going to happen. Now, that is the second part of the question. Very clear. Why does the micropyle remain? Because so that it can take in the oxygen and water and the seed can happily grow. Okay, now during the germination. Now, the third part of the question, students, water content. Okay, why they are asking why the water content, why does the integuments hard and why is the water content? So look here, integuments are going to hard to form the seed coat. So like I tell you, everything has a destination. Now you also have a destination, yes or no? In life your parents will want you to do this thing, you will want to do something else. That is like a goal. Same way, your integuments have a role, your micropyle has a role, your hilum has a role, your embryo sac has a role, your synergids, and everything inside that ovule has a role in the future. Okay, so one of the roles of your integuments, the role of your integument is to become the seed coat. Outer integument and inner integument is there, their role is to become the seed coat. So they will harden so that they can become the seed coat. Now seed coat is two, students, testa and tegmen. Okay, testa and tegmen. So this outer integument and inner integument is going to make sure that they harden and form the seed coat so the seed can be protected. So the question is here only. See, water content is reduced to make the seed dry and keep it in a dormant state. That means when the situation is not favorable. Okay, when the situation is not, the conditions, let's say when the conditions are unfavorable. When the conditions are unfavorable, the seed will go to a dormant state. Okay, seed will become dormant. Clear? So the seed will go dormant how? Once the water content is removed. So the integuments will harden to become the seed coat and the water content also will be reduced so that the seed can go into a dormant state. Is this clear? So these are your integuments. All of you remember, no? These are your integuments, outer and inner integuments. These will become the seed coat in the future. And look at here, you can see the tegmen and the testa. Testa is the outer layer, tegmen is the inner layer. These integuments will form the testa and tegmen. Done? Thumbs up? Yes. Next part of the question. So many parts are there, students. Okay. See, the seeds have no residual endosperm as it is completely consumed due to the embryo development. Now, here the question is, why is the groundnut seed called X-albuminous? Why is the castor seed called albuminous? X-albuminous and albuminous means, albuminous is the one where there is no more endosperm left. So, here, See what is going to happen, sorry, where there is the endosperm is not completely used up, okay. Here see, the seeds have no residual endosperm as it is completely consumed during the embryo development. Hence, groundnut seed is X albuminous. X means what, students? The one who left you and went, okay? X. No one wants to remember about your X. So, X albuminous is the one who left you. So, same way here, no more endosperm is going to be there. All the endosperm will be used up by the growing embryo, okay? Full endosperm, okay? Full vasul, okay? So, here full endosperm will be used up by the plant. So, that is called as X-albuminous. So, groundnut seeds are X-albuminous because there is no endosperm left, everything is being consumed. Next is going to be the seed which is going to retain little of, you know, like one message, it's okay, like that types. So, the seed retains part of the endosperm and as it is not completely used up during the embryo development. So, all the jokes apart, there is only a way to remember. So, look here, the seeds will retain a part of the endosperm. That is called as your albuminous, okay, albuminous seeds, where the endosperm, some amount of endosperm, not the whole thing, some amount of endosperm is going to retain. Clear or not, all of you? Yes. Last question. Why is apple and cashew called the false fruit? First of all, understand, I can only call someone true when they are really true to me and they are showing their true colors. No, same way here, students, I can only call something true fruit. Okay, I can only call something true fruit when it is, the fruit formation is happening from the ovary. Okay, ovary should develop into the fruit. Other than ovary, any other floral parts, okay, any other floral parts are going to become the fruit, then I will call it the false fruit, because it's not true, no? It should have formed from the ovary. Other than that, something is forming, I will not accept it, okay. So, here look here, the question says that the fruit develops from parts other than the ovary such as the thalamus are called as false fruit. So, the apple that you are eating, this portion, no, that we are eating, that is the thalamus. It is not the ovary that has formed into the fruit. It is the thalamus that has formed into the fruit, okay, thalamus or your receptacle. So, look here, the cashew and the apple, they are referred to as false fruit because thalamus contribute to the fruit formation. Thalamus is going to contribute to the fruit formation, not the ovary. So, the portion we are consuming is the thalamus. So, I hope second question also is clear. Let's move to the third question. Next, third question is from your human health, because a lot of questions come as HOTS from your human health. 3 patients suffering from different diseases. So, like the students giving the symptom, they will ask you to identify the disease, okay. 3 patients suffering from certain diseases, they have visited a local primary healthcare center. The doctor does a thorough checkup and prepares 3 reports for the patients, which is indicated in the table below. So, let's see what is the diagnosis and you have to tell which is the causative agent. First, one person has sore throat, okay. The throat is very, you know when you get normally cold or fever, no, you feel, no, there is a cracking sound coming and you are feeling that pain in the throat when you are drinking water, when you are talking, you feel that pain, no. So, sore throat, so here the hardness in the voice also you are feeling, nasal congestion is there, that means you are not able to breathe easily, okay. That is the first set of symptoms that we have. Second symptoms are going to be lips and the fingernails may turn grey to bluish, which is mentioned exactly in your NCERT. Third is dry, scaly lesions on the skins, nails and scalps. So, students, from the first question, you are understanding that this has something to do with your common cold, because normally when the cold is extended for like, more than 2 days, the cold becomes very extreme, where you will have nose blockage, you will have sneezing, you will have sore throat, all this is normal. So, this will come as a common cold. Okay, so whenever I am telling you common cold, in your head automatically rhinovirus should come into your head. Okay, I don't want you to be like, oh, common cold, who is it? It should come tuck, 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 tuck. Okay, it should come very fast. Okay, so common cold. Now rhinovirus is the person. Now here, lips and fingernails may turn greyish to bluish in color. It is because of the lack of oxygen. Okay, lack of oxygen. It is not reaching enough. Okay. Insufficient oxygen is there and automatically it will turn grey and bluish. So, lack of oxygen, and this symptom is very fatal. This is a fatal condition when it is in pneumonia. Okay, pneumonia. Now, the last one is, students, when you have like scaly lesions. Have you seen, no, white fungal infections? If you see, that is your last one. So, let's see the answers as well. What is the topper's answer? So look here students, the answer is going to be, first is going to be common cold. So you write patient 1 is common cold, okay, is identified with common cold. Causative agent is going to be rhinovirus. Easy, very easy. See, one easily you will get marks, okay, don't have to take tension. Next is going to be patient 2 has pneumonia. Okay, and the causative agent is Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenzae. These are the two causative agents mentioned in your NCERT. You should know both the examples, and Streptococcus pneumonia is easy to remember because you have learned it in Griffith's experiment. Yes or no? You have learned it in Griffith's experiment where he is using Streptococcus pneumonia to do the experiment. Next, patient 3 students, he is going to have ringworm allergy. Okay, ringworm allergy. This can happen when you are using someone else's towel and where there is a lot of sweat and moisture content. This can happen. Okay, causative agent is going to be, again, your fungal species are going to be, this is mentioned in your NCERT, Trichophyton, Microsporum and your Epidermophyton. These are the causative agents of it. So this is all direct question, nothing like no loopholes or anything, direct questions. Okay, next question. A person, again, fever. Okay, a person complained of fever, chills, cough, headache, severe problems in respiration. On investigation, it was found that his alveoli were filled with fluid. This is a catchy thing because why? Other symptoms are mostly seen in most of the problems, but in only few conditions the alveoli will be filled. Okay, so look here, the question is, what is the disease he is suffering from? 1 mark. Name the two causative agents. How can a healthy person acquire the infection? Okay, such a nice question, and they have divided the marks also, so you will know what you are supposed to answer. So students, here you see fever is there, chills is there, which you see in typhoid, is there malaria, is there pneumonia, is there. Now you will be like, ma'am, which one? But here the catch is going to be alveoli were filled with fluid. That means the person has lack of oxygen and the person is finding difficult to breathe. Okay. Now let's see the answer. The disease is going to be your pneumonia, and again same thing, pneumonia is one of the favorite questions I think board people's. Okay, pneumonia, and the causative agents are going to be again Streptococcus pneumonia, Haemophilus influenzae. So by the end of this class, these should come in your head. Okay, Streptococcus pneumonia, Haemophilus influenzae causes pneumonia. It should come. See, Streptococcus pneumonia, I know you will not make mistake because of the name. But Haemophilus influenzae, how will you know it is pneumonia? You'll be like, Haemophilus influenzae doesn't even sound like that. Okay, it sounds like an influenza. So here you have to keep on repeating the words. Got it? Keep on repeating the words after me so that you will be able to remember. Chalo. Now see, how will a person get it? That is also an important question. So here it can happen, students. A healthy person can acquire the infection by inhaling the droplets or the aerosols. That means imagine, okay, imagine this is, okay, this is Mintu. Okay, this is Mintu. Mintu has pneumonia. Okay, Mintu is tested positive pneumonia. Now let's say this is Mintu. Okay, this is Mintu. Mintu doesn't have pneumonia. What happens? They both are talking. Mintu doesn't know that this Chintu has pneumonia. He or she will sneeze. There will be aerosols in the air. This Mintu will inhale the aerosols. Okay, this inhale the aerosols. Now this Mintu also will be pneumonia positive. Understood? So with the help of droplets or aerosols, it is going to come to a person, or by, you can also by sharing glasses, utensils, pens. Pens exactly don't come, but then yeah, sharing glasses, utensils with an infected person where the droplets have fallen. Okay, droplets. So by fluid, no, it is going to enter. So understand that whenever you're sneezing, you have to close so that the aerosol does not spread and the next person inhale it. Okay, is this clear? Very simple direct questions. That's why I'm not going to explain a lot because these are direct questions. Now students, we'll go to some of the 5 marks questions again from the topics. See, HOTS does not come from every chapter, few selected chapters that will come. 5 marks is going to come from most of the chapters. So let's see some of the 5 marks questions. First 5 mark question comes from your experiment called your Griffith's experiment. Describe the Frederick Griffith experiment to show the transformation in the bacteria. First of all, let me tell you, Griffith was a scientist who was working on Streptococcus pneumonia. What was he working on? Streptococcus pneumonia. He was very, like, he had a chain of, experiments, and he was just doing this. When he was working with Streptococcus pneumonia, students, he worked with 2 strains. One is called the R strain. Okay, one is called the R strain and one is called the S strain. Now, why is it called R strain? Because it was rough strain. Okay, from the name itself, rough strain, R strain. Why was it called S strain? Ma'am, it was called S strain because it was the smooth strain. And the smoothness was not just, because of that. It was smooth because of the presence of mucopolysaccharide covering, coat, okay, or a mucus covering, you can tell. It was a mucopolysaccharide coating. Okay, one coating was there which made it smooth. Now, when he was working on that, he noticed that this R strain is non-virulent. Don't faint by seeing the word ayo, which is this word. Non-virulent means not disease causing, not harmful. Okay, it's not very harmful. S strain is virulent. Virulent means problematic. Okay, nim class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗ who is very problematic. He'll have one gang. He'll come into the class and he'll be like, I don't want to study. Okay, my father is this, my mother is this. So same way like that. Virulent this one was. Okay. Now he did a set of experiment on a mice. Now the set of experiments, so here the same thing I have given you, students. So here you can see this is again answer which is mentioned. In 1928, Frederick Griffith worked on a bacterial strain called Streptococcus pneumoniae, discovering the process of transformation. There were two forms of strain. One is called the R strain and one is called the S strain. Okay, R strain, again, its lack of capsule was the capsule is the covering. Okay, mucus capsule you can tell, mucopolysaccharide capsule you can tell. It was the covering that made the smooth strain smooth, and the R strain like rough strain. Okay. Here it had a shiny colonies and it had smooth colonies. Now, how was the experiment happening? The experiment happened in such a way, students, where he started doing this set of experiment where he injected R strain into the mice, okay, and the mice lived. Obviously, the mice is going to live. Why? Because, ma'am, you already told that this fellow is not going to cause any disease. Then why will it die? Okay, then he did S strain plus mice. Okay, he injected S strain on the mice. Obviously, the mice will die. Why, ma'am? Because already I told you the S strain is problematic. Now, after that, he thought, okay, let me do something else. He took the S strain, he heat killed the S strain. Okay, heat killed the S strain. Students, now when we boil water, why do we boil water? Telling that all the germs in that, microbes in that is going to die. Same way, he thought, okay, because this S strain is becoming so virulent, I will do one thing, I'll heat kill it. I'll heat it so extremely and I'll kill the S strain. And when he injected that into the mice, students, he noticed that the mice lived, which he was happy about because that was his plan. Then he was like, okay, let me take two non-problematic people. Okay, two silent people in the class the teacher picked. Teacher thought that, oh, two silent people, no, how much problem can they make? But silent killers are there, no? So like this, two silent people he took. Like that, he took two people, that is this strain and this strain he mixed. That is, he took heat killed, okay, heat killed S strain, all short forms it became. He took heat killed S strain plus R strain and he injected into the mice. Unfortunately, the mice died. But Griffith was not expecting this. Griffith was like, okay, two things are not problematic, so I will just mix it up, what will happen? But unfortunately, the mice died. Then he told that, okay, actually, you know what would have happened? That something, okay, something from the S strain. Something from which strain? S strain, which is virulent. Something from S strain got transformed into R strain and made R strain virulent. Understood? Otherwise, how the mice will die? We already tested it, heat killed S strain, it was not having any problem. That means something got transformed from the S strain, heat killed S strain to the R strain and made R strain problematic, villain it became. So he called that, because he did not know what it was, he was like, okay, let's do one thing, I will call it the transforming principle. Okay, I will call it the transforming principle. Clear to all of you? Yes or no? It's called the transforming principle. Now, he called it the transforming principle and many other people behind came telling that, you know what, yeah, this could be the reason, that could be the reason, and they finally found that DNA is the transforming principle. Clear? Easy? So, he concluded that the bacteria had somehow been transformed by the heat-killed S strain bacteria and became virulent. Okay, became virulent. This must be due to the transfer of genetic material. This he did not tell, but he just assumed that, okay, something got transformed, it would be because of that. Is this clear? All of you copy this down. Okay, I'll move to the side. Copy this down, quick. Yes, done. Very nice. Okay, very nice. Let's continue. Okay, next question. Explain the different stages involved in sewage treatment plant. And students, look at how many times this question has come. In 12, in 14, 18, 22, this question has come. You might think that, ayo, such a jujjubi question. Who will study all this question? But this is very important, okay? Tumba important agide, so don't skip it. Try to learn it, okay? Sewage treatment plant. So students, sewage treatment plant, generally 2 steps are there. Primary, okay, primary treatment and secondary treatment. Primary and secondary treatment. Okay, primary is where we do the sequential filtration. We just like remove whatever debris are there, whatever we can see, possibly we will remove all of that. Secondary is more complicated. That means we are going to use some microbes and we are going to be like, microbes, you do this, reduce the BOD and get. Now, why are we doing the sewage treatment? Because all of you know that the water is coming, it's fully mixed with organic matters because our domestic waste, our waste from our households are coming. Now, when I have to supply or I have to give this or throw this water into the rivers or lakes, I am to make sure that it goes through a sewage treatment. Why? Because there's so much organic materials in that, so many unnecessary chemicals in that, I cannot directly put it into river and lakes where other animals and people are dependent on it. So, we will go through a sewage treatment plant. So, STP, that is a sewage treatment plant, is a very, very important concept from microbes. So, let's see which are the primary and secondary treatment. So, look here students, primary treatment involves mainly 2 steps. First step is going to be, it is a physical removal, okay, it is a physical removal of large and small particles from the sewage through filtration and sedimentation. So, the first step is going to be, imagine there are a lot of cigarettes, plastic covers, lace packet, this big things are there. Physically it will be removed. That means filtration will be done. Okay, that is going to be the first step. So, that is going to happen with filtration and sedimentation. Now, initially the floating debris means what? Small particles which are floating. Okay, small particles which are floating. Okay, debris means small particles. These small particles which are floating will be removed by sequential filtration. Very, very important. This is the first step of your primary treatment. That means filtration is called sequential filtration, where you will filter out the substances. Now, then the grit, that means soil and the small pebbles, is removed by sedimentation, because we cannot remove it by sequential filtration. So, we will go to the next step, which is called as sedimentation. Clear? Okay, so first what did we do? We did physical removal of all the substance, all the large substances, we did it with the help of sequential filtration. Second step, where there are small soils, small pebbles are there, I cannot do it with sequential filtration, so I let it settle down. Sedimentation happened. So, whatever water will come up and whatever rest, the heavy particles will settle down. Okay. Now, this concentrated solid material that settles down forms the primary sludge. So, here, this is my tank. Okay, this is my tank. In this tank, what is going to be there? The liquid is going to be there. Okay, and this, here all the sediments are going to be there. Okay, here all the sediments are going to be there. So, that concentrated solid material, we will call it as the primary sludge. That means this is going to be called the primary sludge. Don't get confused, who is the primary sludge? This one. The soil, pebble, all that we got, no, that is going to be the primary sludge. And whatever the supernatant means, students, the water which is on the top. That means when we do centrifugation, we get fillet and supernatant. Don't take tension if you don't know, just forget about it. Just understand this water which is on the top, the supernatant, will be called the effluent. Okay, primary effluent. This effluent is going further, because we need the water, we don't want the solid waste. Okay, we will take this water and go to the next process. So, look here, the supernatant forms the effluent. Okay, the effluent is taken to the secondary treatment. Is this clear? Because I do not want to take the waste materials, I want to remove the waste materials. My main job is to take the water to the secondary treatment. So, I am taking the supernatant, that this water is going to the secondary treatment. Okay, now look at the secondary treatment, students. The primary effluent, remember the primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks. Okay, large aeration tanks, and air is pumped into it to make it aerobic. Wow, one Rajinikanth style happened. Okay, which it makes it aerobic, which allows vigorous growth of useful aerobic microbes. So, students, what they're doing? They're continuously supplying air. Okay, they're continuously supplying the air, and they're making sure that there is enough useful microbes which are going to grow. You're learning microbes chapter, no? So, obviously microbes should be used, and that is called as flocks. Flocks means a set of useful bacteria, of useful microbes with fungal filaments in it. Okay, with what? fungal filaments in it. So look here, masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Now why are they going to be useful? Because these are the best people who can break down the organic matter in the water. Students, domestic waste is going to be there. It's going to be mixed. You cannot separate it with just sequential filtration and sedimentation. You have to consume. The bacteria have to consume the organic matter. Look here, which will form a mesh-like structure. So they have given the definition of flocks. This answer is more than enough for you. You do not need any separate answers from anywhere. Now look here. While growing, these microbes consume. See, these microbes consume the major part of the organic matter in the effluent, the water. Okay. So the BOD is reduced. BOD is biochemical oxygen demand. Okay. So students, here what is going to happen? Understand that if BOD is less, that means the water is more clear. Okay, more clean. Okay. If BOD is more, that means organic matter is going to be more. Okay. So after BOD reduction, the effluent is passed into sedimentation tank where the microflocs are allowed to settle down. So from there, what has gone? It has moved to the microbial flocks are allowed to settle down. This settled material is called as activated sludge. Activated sludge. A small part of it is pumped. So students, remember this. We use the microbes. Yes, ma'am, we use the microbes. So this is the aeration tank. Okay, we put the primary effluent. Okay, we put the primary effluent from the first tank. Okay, from this, after sedimentation, we took the primary effluent. On the primary effluent, what did we do? We let the microbes and the fungal filaments to grow. Okay, by continuously supplying air. So aerobic bacteria grew. They grew and they made sure that the BOD is less. BOD means their oxygen demand has reduced. That means organic matter has become less. So here the BOD got reduced. Now we will let this fellow settle. After this fellow settle, we will call it activated sludge. That means students, the bacteria, all the fungal filaments, everything, we will let them settle and we will call it activated sludge. Now we are going to divide the activated sludge into two portions. One small portion will go into the first tank. First tank means, you remember, the first aeration tank it will go, because we have to keep making this microbes. No, if we already have it, we can take little and put it in the first tank. So one small portion will go into the aeration tank. Okay, aeration tank. And the rest will be put into an anaerobic digester. Okay, anaerobic sludge digester to destroy the bacteria. Okay, we'll put them into anaerobic sludge digester, which you're going to see here. Look here, some of it, a small part of it, is pumped back into the aeration tank. Aeration tank we learnt here. Okay, to serve as an inoculum. Now your mom tells, no, add little 1 spoon of curd into the milk. Why? Because that 1 spoon of curd acts as an inoculum to convert that milk into curd. Clear? Now the remaining major part of the sludge is pumped back into large tanks called as anaerobic sludge digester, where other anaerobic microorganisms start digesting the bacteria and fungi, because we cannot keep it for a longer run. It is going to become harmful. So we will use it to digest it. Clear or not? Very easy. Yes. So here, if you go here, primary and secondary. Students, primary 2 steps are there. Please remember that. Okay, primary you have sequential filtration. That is to remove all the large substances. Okay, filtration. Okay, then you have sedimentation. This is to make sure that the grit, that means soil plus the pebbles, are sedimented. After the sedimentation, you are going to get two things. You are going to get a supernatant, which is going to become, okay, let's write supernatant. Okay, supernatant, which is going to become the primary effluent. Okay, and we will get the sludge, primary sludge, that you can ignore. Now this effluent will go into the secondary treatment. In the secondary treatment, you will have an aeration tank. Okay, aeration tank means we are supplying continuously with oxygen. Inside that, aerobic bacteria are going to grow. Aerobic bacteria means the bacteria that grow with help of oxygen, or they require oxygen. Aerobic bacteria plus fungal filaments. Okay, fungal filaments, they are going to make a mesh and they are called as flocks. This flocks will keep consuming the organic matter, and they will consume the organic matter and make sure that the BOD is very, very less. Okay, they will degrade the organic matter and they will reduce the BOD. Okay, once they reduce the BOD, they will become the activated sludge. Okay, so I'm continuing here. They'll become the activated sludge we let them settle, and in this activated sludge, small portion, okay, one part will go to the aeration tank, okay, and one portion will go to the anaerobic sludge digester, where they will consume the bacteria. Clear or not? I should have written this side, but sorry, the place was not there. Okay, clear. Next question. Write a detailed note on adaptive radiation that is repeated. Students, look how many years it has been repeated. Okay, very important question, adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation means what? Let's take Chintu Mintu only, okay. Chintu was first in Karnataka. Okay, Chintu was first in Bangalore. Now, Chintu from Bangalore has gone to Delhi. Okay. Now, Chintu will become full like yo-yo, full he will talk Hindi, kitna hai bhaiya, he'll come to Bangalore and ask, okay, full he'll become yo-yo person. So, this is adaptive. That means he has gone to a different place, he started adapting to that situation and he has come back. Now, there are another set of people, let's say in Bangalore, students, because I know more places in Bangalore. So, in Bangalore, there is Mintu and her friends. Okay, Mintu and her friends. One Mintu's friend is staying in Whitefield, one Mintu's friend is staying in MG Road, one Mintu's friend is staying in HSR. Now, all of these people will have different adaptation, because one person will be in a very elite places, all these places. Like one will be, doing shopping for 200, one will be doing for 2000. So, they will do adaptive. That is called adaptive radiation. So, what that means, from one place, okay, from one area, if the birds, especially here we are talking about birds, if they have moved to different places in that same country itself, they are not going somewhere else, in that same place, if they have moved and they got adapted to that situation, that is called as adaptive radiation. Understood? Now see, all of them are in Bangalore, but one is in Whitefield, one is in HSR, one is in MG Road. All of them have different character. They have got adjusted to the situation there. Okay, some travel by bus, some travel by auto. Like that is because of the adaptation they have done to that place. Understood? Now let's see what are the examples given. See, the process of evolution of different species in a given geographical area, starting from a point. Bangalore is the point, okay, and radiating, literally radiating to the other areas of the geography is called as adaptive radiation. So, the adaptive radiation example given in your NCRT is that Galapagos Island finches, Darwin's finches. So, when Darwin was going in a ship, students, he was going fully nicely, he was enjoying and he was going, he noticed that there is some finches, okay, which are called as Galapagos finches. He noticed that they had beaks and they were seed eating. They were what? Seed eating. But he noticed that in that same geographical area, in that same Galapagos Island, these birds which had gone to different places, one became insectivorous, okay, one became insectivorous, one became, fruit eating, one remained seed eating, one became carnivorous. Like that, different places they went, they started doing adaptive radiation. That is when he understood that, okay, there is something called as adaptive radiation. So, let's see. Darwin's finches of Galapagos Island and marsupials of Australia and placental mammals of Australia. So, here you see Darwin's finches of Galapagos Island. Darwin went to Galapagos Island during his voyage in HMS Beagle ship. The name is HMS Beagle. In case MCQ come, you can write it, okay. The ship name is HMS Beagle. Remember the dog Beagle, okay? HMS Beagle. There he observed an amazing diversity of small black birds, okay? And he called them Darwin's finches. He's like, nanagashtu name prasakti eno beda, but I will call it my name, Darwin's finches, okay? So he called it Darwin's finches. All the varieties evolved on the islands itself from the original seed-eating feature. That means they all started from one spot and then they radiated. Understood? All started from seed eating. Then slowly they radiated to become insectivorous, fruit eating, flesh eating, whatever. Many other forms with altered beaks arose, enabling them to become insectivorous and vegetarian finches. Understood? Many types started going from one spot. Okay, same like Chintu Mintu and her friends. Clear? That is called. So, even though all of them started as seed eating, they all moved to the different places and they got adapted to that situation. Now, same thing happened in Australian marsupials. Okay, one became squirrel, one became mouse, one became wolf, one became different names, no? So, look here, a number of marsupials, each different from other, evolved from ancestral stock. okay, ancestral stock, but all within the Australian island. Why? Because Australia did not have a terrestrial route for these people to go to different places. So they were like, oh, my life is here only, I will stay here only. So they just got adaptive radiation, okay. So then more than one adaptive radiation appears to have occurred in an isolated geographical area. One can call this convergent evolution. So students, there is divergent evolution and convergent evolution. Remember this HDAC. Okay, HDTV will be in an AC room like a theater. H stands for homologous. Okay, H stands for homologous. Okay, D stands for divergent evolution. Okay, divergent evolution. Got it? That means different modifications, but they do the, they are from the same ancestors, but they do different functions. Okay. Now, AC stands for students, A stands for analogous. Analogous. C stands for convergent. Convergent. Okay. A for analogous, C for convergent. You can remember sweet potato and potato. Both modifications are different, but the same thing they are going to do. So, modifications, ancestors will be different, but they are going to end up doing the same functions. So, look here, convergent evolution. Placental mammals in Australia also, placental mammals means the ones who are having placenta. Placental mammals in Australia also exhibit adaptive radiation, evolving into varieties of such placental mammals, each of which appear to be similar to a corresponding marsupials. Okay, like example, placental wolf and Tasmanian wolf. So students, if you open your NCERT, there is a diagram which shows your set of Australian marsupials and your placental mammals. Okay, PM and AM. Wow, that's nice, PM and AM. Okay, so they will be together. So that means that they are showing that these two, even though they are different, one is placental, one is Australian. Okay, one is with the placental mammals, one is the Australian marsupials, but both of them, if you see, they're almost the similar. Okay, if you see this side, you'll see Tasmanian wolf, here you will see placental wolf. Same way, if you see ma'am likes burger, so if you see here, you will see the moles, here also you will see the mole. Anteaters, anteaters. Bobcat, you will see some cat. Squirrel, squirrel. Mouse, mouse. So that means what? They're coming to one spot, even though their ancestors are different, they're coming to a same spot. That is called as convergent evolution. Okay, differently we are, but we are coming to a same spot, like your friends, right? You people are all different, but you're all coming to this one channel of We Karnataka. So that means what? You're all coming to a convergent evolution. You might be born from different places. One might be in Mysore, one might be in Hubli, different places, but you're all coming to one spot. Okay, so I hope this session was really helpful. Thank you so much for joining for the session, and please let me know in the comments how the session was. I hope it was really helpful for you. Students, lot of explanations are there. We do not have that much time, so try to learn it. Try to understand the main points and pick the main points and try to write. These are the key answers, and you can see, and all this notes will be available on We Karnataka Telegram. So I want all of you to subscribe to the channel. This is our channel, and the channel has been growing really well. So the name is We Karnataka KCET and Boards. So one-stop solution for all KCET as well as both students. And this is our Telegram. The link is in the description. Go to the description box. The first link is to join the Telegram channel. Quickly join the Telegram channel for all the notes. Okay, notes, you will get class links, any important updates, all this will be available on this one Telegram channel. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. I hope this biology session was really helpful, and there'll be more sessions lined up. Do not worry, MCQ session, everything is going to come slowly to you. So all you have to do is share it with your friends, get more people to the crowd, and make us proud that we are Karnataka teachers, and we are teachers of, who have started a channel for all of you. Thank you so much for joining. See you all next time.